Good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, I guess it is, still afternoon. We've got some chairs here to fill in for those who are standing. We shouldn't have a very long program, but we would like you to be comfortable and fill in those seats. I'm Sean Wilson, Secretary for the Department of Transportation and Development. Joining us today on behalf of Governor Edwards, who was unable to be with us, he's en route traveling, is First Lady Donna Edwards, and we have Miss Rhonda Cole and her mother. I believe it's Miss Diane. Thank you all for joining us. Also in attendance are District 5 Administrator Marshall Hill. Where's Marshall? And are there other employees who came down with Marshall? Just kind of wave your hand. Other folks who worked with Johnny, thank you all for being a part of today's programs. It goes without saying that I wholeheartedly wish we were not gathered here today, this afternoon, for different reasons. And it's a very sad day because, unfortunately, I just returned from a funeral of another DOTD employee who was killed in service to the state of Louisiana. So it is without a doubt one of the most difficult parts of my job as Secretary is receiving that phone call from the field that we've lost another member of the DOTD family. In fact, that happened just last Wednesday, as I said, for J.P. Curry in District 03, who was killed while cleaning under a bridge off of a marsh buggy. I stand here today as a husband, a father of many, representing many folks who are parents in the family of DOTD, thinking of Miss Rhonda, Zachary, and Dakota, the children of Mr. Cole, and their immense loss and what the family has endured since that accident. I was humbled to be a part of celebrating your husband's life in Monroe, Louisiana, or West Monroe, not too long ago. And I think of June 18th as a day that began like many other days, but ended tragically for a dedicated DOTD employee and public servant. You need to know that Johnny Cole began working with the department about 12 years ago to the day, December 17th, 2007. He and other DOTD employees, Michael Page and Monroe District Traffic Section, were performing routine sign installation on LA 563, just south of the I-20, Interstate 20 in Lincoln Parish. And this was a task that had been carried out very safely countless times before the morning of June 18th. And Johnny was standing behind a DOTD vehicle, preparing to install the sign, when he was struck by the driver of an 18-wheeler. I say that not to remember such a tragic day, but to talk about how preventable this accident was, because it absolutely was preventable. His friends and co-workers talk about the dedication to DOTD that Johnny showed every single day, his willingness to share his knowledge of on-the-job training, and anyone who needed it, he would give a kind word, both at work and in his personal life, and his deep love for his family. And one of the things I remember most was, I think Marshall mentioned to me that Johnny wanted to do a little boxing deal, I think, for employee appreciation. He had such a fun spirit. Those who worked closely with him described the day of the accident was being absolutely devastated, that a good man who loved to tell jokes, show photos of his family, and who took exceptional pride in his work was suddenly taken away from us. We know this crash could have been prevented, as I said, with more attentive driving and awareness and an active work zone in place. DOTD field employees clock in every day and proceed to head out to perform their duties in some of the most dangerous working conditions of any job in state service. And while we understand the risks associated with that, we do, as transportation departments, do it every day, knowing that Johnny did not have to lose his life that day is absolutely heartbreaking. While we're always looking for ways to improve procedures, DOTD is working to ensure that this tragedy didn't happen in vain, and is taking measures to enhance safety for our most valuable assets, our employees. And I'd like to share some of that with you. We've made some of those changes. We are in the process of implementing the requirement of having a spotter on any two-person operation. Folks oftentimes joked about why we had more employees out there, but being a spotter is absolutely essential. Along with this procedure, we will be placing cones further back in the work zone, and this cone will be equipped with an alarm that, should it be hit, it will make noise to inform those around them in the work zone. That measure could have helped provide an advance warning on that day as that vehicle entered into the work zone where Mr. Cole was doing his job. We're also in the process of purchasing 70 additional trailer-mounted crash attenuators, and we have examples of that outside. These are devices that are specifically designed to absorb the impact of a crash and protect employees and equipment that they're using. Additionally, we're changing the colors of our safety vests and purchasing new uniforms that will have a safety green similar to the bridge highlighter color. So if you look to the right, we're going to take a very bold statement for the department, because we have about 3,000 employees in service on a daily basis that might be dressed like some of the folks in the audience that aren't seen. We're going to make the hard decision of putting them in more visible uniforms as a result of this accident to ensure that it doesn't happen again. This requirement will replace just the vest. It will absolutely allow them to be more efficient in their jobs, but most importantly, it will make every driver aware that there's an employee working in their presence day and night. And lastly, we're changing the emergency light colors from amber and red to green and amber, updating the flashing patterns and moving to all LED lights on our vehicles. That's another very important asset. Transitioning the lights to green will greatly increase the visibility of our vehicles while performing road work, and we're also adding reflective striping to our vehicles to further enhance their visibility. You may have noticed that first responders have changed the sirens on their vehicles because we've become accustomed to what that is. The same goes for lighting and striping on our vehicles. We believe putting all these changes into place across the state will add another level of safety for the day-to-day operations of over 4,200 employees. And we would trust that we would not be here again doing the same type of ceremony.